My husband's twin sister invited his ex, the woman who dumped him after 10 years, to his mom's birthday, encouraged her to kiss him in front of me, then called me a drama queen for leaving. And now that same ex is sending baby gifts, claiming she and my husband are starting a family. I, 29F, and my husband, 31M, went to his mother's birthday party this weekend, and my surprise, my husband's ex was also there. Some backstory: me and my husband have been married for 2 years and together for 3 years. We met about 1 year after he broke up with his ex, and when we talked about our previous relationships and experiences, he told me I was his second relationship ever. He explained he dated his ex, who's also his twin sister's best friend, from senior year of high school until they were 27 years old. They had a messy breakup. He proposed. She said no because she wanted to see the world and wasn't ready to settle down. Fast forward to this past weekend, we get to my parents-in-law house, and she is there. I didn't know who she was at first. Well, we start mingling, and at some point, this woman I don't know comes up to us, and she ignores me first and turns to my husband and says, "Are seriously keep on ignoring me?" I was confused. My husband looks at me and introduces us like, "Sarah, this is my wife Melanie. Baby, this is Sarah, my ex." Before I could say something, she hugs my husband, and to his credit, he steps back and pulls me to stay in the middle of them. At this point, I have a lot of questions for my husband, but decided to table it until we get home. The festivities keep on going. After my meal blew the candles, my Phil, husband, and Sil all gave speeches. For Mill comes SEL speech. She starts with, "My mother must be excited to have her true daughter-in-law back in the fold. Welcome back, Sarah." At this point, everyone is looking between me and Sarah. I'm visibly uncomfortable. My husband asks if I want to leave, to which I say no. Didn't want to cause a scene. I excuse myself to go to the bathroom, and my Emile follows me inside. She apologizes for her daughter's behavior and tells me not to worry about Sarah because her son has been happier and she can see we love each other. I thank her and go outside, where I'm met with my SIL screaming "kiss kiss," my husband telling her to stop and Sarah grabbing his arm. At this point, I'm starting to see red. On my way to them, Sarah grabs my husband and plants a kiss on his lips, and he just stands there. I turn around, grab my things, and walk out. I was just extremely frustrated. I had to spend the all day with two people who clearly have no respect for me or my relationship. I called an Uber and just went home. About 2 minutes in, on my drive home, my husband texts me asking where I am. He doesn't give me time to reply, and calls. I decline, and text him I was on my way home. He kept calling until I just turned it off. Got home, and about 15 minutes later, so did my husband. He asked me why I left, and I lost it. I told him the blatant disrespect from his ex and sister, his ex constantly flirting with him, and the cherry on top, his ex kissing him. He apologized, and I just asked him, "Do you still have feelings for her?" To which he vowed he didn't, and he was just caught by surprise and didn't act fast enough, and he should have been more direct in stopping his sister and ex. I told him I had an headache and was going to bed. He asked if I was mad. I told him yes. I'm mad at this situation and disappointed in how he handled things. The party was Saturday, Sunday. I start getting bombarded with texts from his sister telling me I'm a drama queen, that I had no right to ruin her mother's B-day party, that my attitude is why my husband will leave me and go back to Sarah. I gave the phone to my husband and told him either he handles his sister or I will. So AITAH for just leaving? Relevant comments. Commenter. NTA. But sounds like your husband was put in a really sticky situation and tried to handle it well. He ignored her at first. He introduced you as babe. He pulled away from the hug. He offered to leave with you. He tried to shut down his sister with the kiss thing, but his ex kissed him non-consensually. You definitely have a right to be upset with SIL and S, and maybe with MIL for not telling SIL to stop, but it sounds like your husband was on your team, at least from what I can tell. Commenter do. I don't think you're a complete AH, but this is not about you, and you need to be supportive to your husband. Your husband was sexually harassed, and a kiss he didn't consent to is a form of assault. All that happened to you was some disrespect and rudeness, but your husband's personal space and consent was violated. He needs your support. It sounds like your MIL did not agree with what was happening, so there was no need for you to walk out without your husband. You should have left together. He didn't kiss his ex willingly. She assaulted him. There are enough people in the world who don't take assault and harassment against men seriously. Don't be another one. Block your SIL. You don't need to hear from her yourself, but your insecurity is not helping your husband process what happened to him at a night that was supposed to be fun and celebrating his mother. Commenter toi, NTA. Since your MIL followed you and apologized for her daughter and S, maybe she can help you and your husband to put this to bed. Maybe text her and ask if you leaving her birthday party early ruined the party. If she says no, then tell her your sister-in-law thinks so. Hopefully your MIL tell her an S off for disrespecting your marriage. I think for now, limit your contact with your SIL until she can learn to be respectful. Update 1. Hi everyone. Well, I asked my husband if we could talk before we had dinner. He said of course. I started by apologizing for not having his back. As most of you point out, he was sexual harassed by his ex. No buts. I just told him I was extremely sorry I was only seeing it from my point, because honestly, even thought he never gave me reasons I felt insecure, and thought that maybe he still had feelings for his ex consumed me. His sister was never this openly hostile to me, so in my head I made up a bunch of scenarios, that maybe she was like that because she knew something I didn't, but that was on me. Not him, only on me. I told him I left because honestly I was pissed, but mainly I was scared of losing him and what we have, but I see my actions could be the reason I lose him, not anyone else or their actions. He told me that at the time the kiss happened he froze because he honestly didn't believe she would go that far. He explained after I left he went off on both his sister and ex, and his mom told everyone it was time to leave. I once again apologized and he told me that it did hurt. I just left him there. It wasn't so much for the kiss itself, but the fact that I would doubt him so easily. He said, since on Sunday we were dancing around each other not really talking, he called his mom, and just for advice, and that his mom told him that while she understood his side, she also understood mine. That we are both adults and should just sit down and address our concerns with each other. She also texted me saying, marriage is not for the fainted heart, it's not all roses and sunshine. The best you can do is communicate and trust in each other. I called my email and apologized for leaving like I did, and in no way I wanted to ruin her party. She told me I didn't, but that I need to trust my husband. If I want this marriage to work, I told her about the messages my SIL is sending, and she said she talked with her, and SIL told my MIL that my husband been texting Sarah saying he is unhappy with me and was only with me until Sarah was ready for something more. My MIL told her that that doesn't make any sense because if he was waiting for Sarah, he could have dated me, but he wouldn't have married me. And if she thought otherwise, she doesn't know her own brother. Well, I've blocked her, my husband called her, told her he doesn't want to see or hear from her from the time being, and blocked her as well. We told his parents and they told us not to worry about her, that she will come to her senses soon, and if she doesn't, that's on her. Update 2. Thank you everyone for your words of encouragement. Here I thought blocking my SIL was going to give me some peace. Well, I thought wrong. She came up to my house today with Sarah demanding I hear them out. I opened the door, and she tried to push past me to get in, and I just told her they could say whatever they wanted from where they were standing. Well, Sarah started with a sappy story that she didn't want to hurt me, but as a woman herself, she couldn't live with the guilt of sleeping with my husband and sneaking behind my back. I was speechless, but I learned my lesson and didn't for a second doubt my husband. As my mama always said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So I was like, you know what? Get in. My husband wasn't home. He went to the gym with a friend, I called him, and told him his sister was at our house with Sarah and that I invited them in and we were waiting for him. Sarah tried to show me the proof. I just told her she could show me in a bit when my husband got home. She tried to tell me he would deny it and I should just listen to her. I told her, I made that mistake last week and let you two harass my husband. And what better way to put everything on the table than having all parties involved talk and share everything together. Well, my husband gets home, his gym is close, so it took him about 5 minutes to get home. Let me tell you, Sarah came up with a fucking sob story telling my husband it was better to come clean, and SIL just saying she would always back Sarah and my husband. She showed me the texts and my husband had enough and asked to text the number and gave me his phone. She was like, that's not necessary. I was like, better yet call the number on the message thread. She got up and took SIL with her. My husband is currently on the phone with his mom telling her what happened while I type this update here. Well, I think they figure out they can't get their way if anything else happened. I'll update you guys. Update 3. Well, this year, me and hubby hosted Thanksgiving. I invited my siblings and their spouses, my parents, and my in-laws. Monday last week, Emile called to ask if it would be okay to bring Sil. Apparently she wanted to apologize and explained what the hell was going on in her mind. I told my Emile I would talk to my husband. I wasn't extremely comfortable with the idea but wouldn't want someone to spend the holidays by themselves. Well, I asked hubby, he said hell to the no. This was supposed to be a peaceful day and he knew the apology was bullshit. I backed him up and called my MIL and told her we wouldn't be comfortable if she was there. MIL said she understood. Come Thanksgiving Day, we are all chilling, playing games, enjoying our families. When me and hubby decided to tell everyone we are expecting, I still can't believe I'm going to be a mom. We told everyone we were just waiting to pass the 12 weeks mark and tell the people that are important to us. Everyone congratulated us. Grandmas are already started making plans. They're excited, first grandkid from both sides. The day ended, we said our goodbyes to everyone. Come Sunday, we get home. After running a few errands and find a package on our front porch, I asked my husband if he ordered something. He said no. We bring the package inside. I opened and find it full of baby stuff, so I thought maybe it was my mom or his mom that ordered it and forgot to tell us, until I find a card inside that read, "It was always our dream to be parents. Can't wait for this new journey with you. It doesn't matter how it came to be, but we can finally start our little family. Love, SX." I saw red. My husband grabbed the card, read it, cursed the bare existence of that woman, picked up the box and went to put it in the trash. I stopped him. He asked me if I seriously wanted to keep that. I said hell no, I wanted to burn it, but since it's winter and there's a lot of mamas that don't have enough for their babies, we could just drop it off at a shelter or church. Well, I thought while she is crazy, that was probably a last attempt to get what she wants. But my husband just wanted to figure out how she knew. He called his mom and asked if she told his sister we're expecting. His mom said it wasn't intentional. She was on the phone sharing the news with my husband's grandma, who lives 2 states over with MIL's sister, and that she came by the house to pick up a few things and heard it. Well, since Sunday every day we came home, there's a package on our porch with some weird-ass card signed S. Yesterday, instead of a package, my SIL was there. Before I turned my car off, I called my husband to tell him. He told me to wait in the car. He was 20 minutes from home. While I was waiting, SIL came knocking on my window. I rolled it down just a little bit so I could hear her, and she asked if it would be possible for us to talk. I explained her brother was on his way so she could wait until he got here. She nodded and backed away. Well, hubby arrived and started asking her what she was doing here and for her to tell her Delulu friend to stop sending the packages with the weird notes because it was getting to a point where we thought it would be better to contact the police. Well shit, you not. SIL started crying and apologizing. My husband kept reaping her a new one. I asked to stop for a bit so she could say what she came to say. Well, apparently she went out with S last week. They were drinking and got drunk and went to S's apartment. There she said she saw S's phone and just out of curiosity wanted to see if my husband was still texting S. He never texted or called her since we've been together. She saw the texts, but when reading them some didn't make sense. So she checked the number and surprise, surprise, it wasn't my husband's number. SIL said she just went numb and left the next day. She asked S to meet and asked her what was her goal. She made her believe her brother was unhappy when the texts weren't even from him. She tried to deflect. SIL just asked her why, and S simply said because now he can provide her with the life she deserves. SIL got up and left. She said she understands we can't forgive her just like that, but she truly believed her friend, and she said maybe she has some unhealthy feeling for S and just wanted her to be close, even if she wasn't with her. Well, I told her I could not forgive her at this moment in time, but who knows in the future. Husband told her pretty much the same, that we need space and time, and she needs to make an effort to do better, not only for us, but for herself. She said sorry again and left. We've been trying to wrap our heads around what that hell happened. Well, I just want to move on and focus on this new journey of being parents. Hubby been wonderful in all of this, and I can't thank you all enough for showing me the truth and not mess up my relationship with my behavior and insecurities. So I truly appreciate it and sorry for the long ass post.